I see this, especially in the US here, people are obsessed by being fast and raise a lot of money. When we started our company, we had no money. We only injected 5,000 euros each. We had the first product that we launched in 2010, which was a disaster.
I've loved Izipizi sunglasses for 5 years, so when the PR reached out to see if I wanted to interview the founder, Charles Brun, I jumped at the chance. We talk today about how to start a brand with intention. We talk about purpose, and we talk about how B Corp certification can play a part in that, but also we talk about how to maintain your enthusiasm for starting a brand with purpose. This episode is about starting a brand with intention and keeping it. So keep listening to hear how Izipizi turned an everyday functional product into a global lifestyle brand, and what founders can learn about how to start a brand that truly resonates with its consumers. Hi, Charles. Thank you for coming on How to Start Up today to talk about how to start a brand with intention. I would love it if you could start with an introduction as to you and a bit about the brand that you've started.
Yes, indeed. So my name is Charles. I co-founded Izipizi 15 years ago with two friends from high school. They are my best friends and my partners, like Xavier and Quentin. So the company is based in Paris. We are doing glasses. We started with reading glasses. And now we say that we do glasses for all the family and every moment in life.
And how long ago did you start?
So it was end of 2010, 15 years, a bit more than 15 years ago.
Amazing.
And we are around 250 people now between France, other countries of Europe and US. We have a subsidiary in the US now.
Incredible. And I discovered your brand 6 years ago, I think, in a co-working office, and everyone was wearing you. It's like, they're really cool, they're really functional, and you'll never lose them or break them because they're not that expensive compared to luxury sunglasses at £250. You can buy into the brand, I think, for £35, £40.
Yes.
And
yes.
they're gorgeous frames, super stylish. And I go on holiday and I might treat myself to a new pair because why not? And I went to the Antarctic and I bought myself some glacier glasses. So you're right,
Yes.
It's for every occasion. And then obviously with age, my eyesight's going and I have reading glasses. So I love them because I feel like I can wear glasses and look cool at the same time, or attempt to look cool. But for you, you started with two friends and presumably you are all still friends now. You
Yes.
also started a brand with some good intentions. How important is intent when you start a brand?
Since the beginning, our aim is to do great products, great design, great quality, affordable price, but with a very selective distribution. And since the beginning, our aim was to sell our products to the best fashion stores, design stores, concept stores, high-end optic stores, department stores. And yes, since the beginning, our intent is to build a brand, to build a worldwide brand. It's funny because we have always been passionate by brands. We come from Paris, and a bit like London and other cities, we are surrounded by amazing brands. And when we decided to start a company with my friends, it was sort of challenge at first. It was a game. We were 24 years old, so we had just finished our studies. We had not much experience, but we wanted to do something together. It was both doing a business and a brand. And 15 years after, I can't say we have a worldwide brand, but we are trying to build this worldwide brand. We still have many examples for us, but yes, we are always looking forward.
And what year did you become a B Corp?
B Corp was 4 years ago, so I think it was 2022 or 2021 maybe. Since the beginning, we tried to do things in a good way with the good materials, how we produced, how we distributed, how we shipped our products. And in 2018, we measured for the first time our carbon footprints. And this was a big exercise. It took us a lot of time, but we had a number of emissions per pair of glasses. And we said, okay, within 3 years, we want to reduce this number by 2. So we changed the materials we use, which completely changed the way we ship our products. Before it was only air shipments because we were always out of stock and needing to deliver our customers very quickly. And we decided to change completely that. So we replaced our air shipments by boat shipments between our suppliers and our warehouse. So it means you have to change our forecasts, the way you manage your stocks, etc. Now all our products are made out of bio-based material also. We changed some stuff in our office, in our stores. So we achieved to reduce this. Because it's our philosophy we are here to build a business, to build a brand, but to do it the good way. And I think in the fashion industry, in the accessories industry, there was so many companies doing some greenwashing. We were a bit afraid about that. So for many years, we have decided not to talk about it. And after we started to get more requests from our customers saying, I like Izipizi, but I would like to know how are they produced, what are you doing? And we decided to talk about it. But before talking about it, we wanted to do things. And so the first thing was this carbon footprint evaluation, and then this B Corp certification. Because for us, B Corp is the best label. It's for the planet, but it also proves you do things in a good way for your team, for all your partners or your suppliers around you. We are also a great place to work, but among the top great place to work. So we don't want our customers to buy Izipizi for this. We want our customers to buy Izipizi because they like our products, they like the quality, they like the design, etc. But for us, being B Corp is important also, but on top of the rest.
Yeah. And it's almost on the inside, isn't it? Well, we know we do this. We don't need to broadcast it, but it's just the right thing to do. That's why we did it as well. It's like me as a business owner, I can sleep at night knowing I've been audited and that I'm doing good in the world and I'm still a profiting business. But for you, you started at 23. You could call it intention, you could call it purpose, you could call it sustainability. Was that always important to the three of you? Or did it kind of grow with you?
Yes, since the beginning when we started our company, so end of 2010, we had launched a first product, which was before our readers. And this product was already made in France. It was assembled by disabled people. Since the beginning also, our obsession was to do these products in a good way. And with a team also, I think if you meet some of our team, I think everybody's happy to work for Izipizi. It's a great challenge. It's a great journey, but with good values also. And this has always been the case, and it will be the case for the long term also.
Well, I was going to say, it does make things harder for you when you're starting a business. Also, it's starting at 23, where you haven't necessarily had much work experience elsewhere. You then make another rod for your back of, okay, we're doing something that hasn't been done before. We've not done this before, and we're going to add in all of these values. Do you think setting up a brand with values from the beginning makes it easier or harder in the long run?
I don't know if it's easier or harder. I think it depends on what are your values. We wanted this company to be a projection of our values with my partners. I think we are lucky because we are friends. I think we are good people, and we wanted this company to be a good company also. We want our team to be happy to come working every day. We are called Izipizi, so it's very important also. I think our name defines our company. So we want our customers to be happy also. It's a joyful brand. It's a colorful brand. It's affordable. When you go on our website, you'll see there's smile everywhere. And I think this is us. We are happy people. We are smiling people. And we are like this every day when we wake up. So I think the company is a bit like us at the beginning.
It's what you preach.
Yes, exactly. And now we have an amazing team around us. But I think all the values we had at the beginning, we are lucky because even if the terms we use are not exactly the same, finally, the values are the same since 15 years. And I hope they will continue for the next 15 years also.
Well, that must keep it quite simple in some respects, that like attracts like, you know each other and you know the kind of people you want to work with. And it's sort of quite obvious when someone potentially wouldn't fit.
Yeah, totally. And we take a lot it's very important for us when we hire people, or the onboarding is very important also. We have our way to onboard people. And I think this is one of the main success of Izipizi is we get the feedbacks from our team, and after 3 days, after 3 weeks, after 3 months. And one of the good things we did at Izipizi is this onboarding and the way we select our team and the way we hire them.
Amazing. And how did you learn all this? Because you've come into this new brand at 23 years old with 2 mates. Like, right, we're going to start a product-based business, which as everybody out there will be listening going, that's not easy. Adding that extra layer of kind of vigilance to it. How have you taught yourself all of this?
We talk a lot. We try to learn a lot. Since the beginning, luckily, we had amazing mentors. When we started our company, we had no money. We only injected 5,000 euros each, so it was not a lot. Luckily, we had won some prizes, competitions. So we had bank loans on the company, but this was not enough to really develop. So after 3 years, we raised money. But for us, it was money to raise, but it was among selected person. And luckily, we had amazing mentors. It was a French businessman, successful businessman, who invested in Izipizi. And they didn't invest to make more money because I think they had enough. They invested to have a new entrepreneur life with 3 young guys, which were with my partners. And these guys have been for us business angels, but amazing mentors, like I would say great uncles. And we learned so much from them. I remember business lunches, which were doing, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And at first we were talking about numbers. And after 10 minutes, we were talking about life and values and how did they succeed and what they were doing in their company. How did they develop internationally their brand and their business, etc. So we learned a lot from them. And then we tried to join the networks since the beginning at Izipizi in Paris, entrepreneur networks, and to meet other founders, to meet other leaders, and to try to learn from them and say, okay, what do we like from them? What could we apply to Izipizi immediately or after 6 months? And we tried a lot and we changed also. So it's a bit our magic sauce, if I may say.
Well, how important was your gut feeling in all of this? Like you going into business with your friends, and did you disagree with them at any point?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, 3 minds and starting a brand, you must have clashed a little bit. Who had the final say? How did you work through conflict? How are you still friends with each other today?
It's funny because we often say that we are a triple. So it's a couple of three people. And I would say a bit like a couple, a business relationship, you have to take care of it. So we spend a lot of time together. We discuss a lot. When we argue, we take time to talk about it. Luckily, it's never the same two against one. And I think we always took time to share our frustration, to share when we were in disagreement also, but to find a solution on which we align the three of us. And we don't agree sometimes, but when we are in front of our team, it's always important to align and to be on the same path, the three of us.
Yeah. I always talk to founders that have co-founders because I'm a sole founder and I don't have anyone else I have to ask or think about. I can make a decision and it's done, it's final, and it says a lot about me. But I also miss the support of having a co-founder. I think with 3 of you, it's actually probably easier than 2 of you because it will be 2 against 1. You're always going to have a majority vote. Whereas if it's 1 against 1, that could be quite hard. So odd numbers, this is where we go with this.
And also being 3, I think it's great because when you have difficult times, you can share. When you have good moments, you can share the success, share when we faced ups and downs as every company and every leader. But we often said to each other, luckily we are 3, because I think sometimes we took more time to take our decisions, but at least being 3, when we take a decision, we thought about it. And I would say it's better decisions.
Oh, I'm renovating a house by group mentality and Instagram. So I put things up going, right, guys, you all tell me what to do, this color or this color, that or this. And it's so much easier when someone else, and I have so many friends to stay going, right, I just need to pick your brains. And no matter what, someone will have a good idea about something once they come in with fresh eyes. It's like, maybe I should be doing this the business as well. We're taking a quick 30-second break from this episode to ask, are you thinking of starting your own podcast? If so, this is great news because we run a course that will train you how to produce your own podcast yourself. This course is for people who do not want to outsource and pay someone else to do it. You want to learn how to do it yourself. We teach you everything that you need to get up and running with your own podcast show and so much more. Just DM us at hello@Fallowfield-Mason to book your spot. But given purpose, obviously, when we're talking about starting a brand with intention, we're talking about purpose here, I think. What advice would you give to new founders starting a company, how to define their purpose or how to kind of lean into their values? How did you work out what mattered to you?
Yes, it's a good question. I think it depends of who you are, what you want to do, what are your values, what you want to bring to your company, how ambitious are you? Is it for your market? Is it for the world? Is it a service? Is it a product? On our side, we knew since the beginning that we were very ambitious. We didn't want to limit ourselves to the French market and not to the European market. We wanted to sell our products worldwide. We also knew we wanted to develop a brand. So we had several examples of brands that we loved. One of them is Swatch, the watches. And we always loved what Swatch was doing. And when we started, we say, okay, we want to become the Swatch of the vision. So it's a bit less the case now. It changed, but in terms of quality, colors, design, affordability, timeless also, and produced in a good way. So I think it's important to look around you. Who are your mentors? Who are the examples you want to follow, and apply it to yourselves? And I would say also take your time to choose your partners, because I met so many companies who found their partner like a speed dating, and it worked well for 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. And after 2 years, they found it was not the good relationship. And between the products for the company or the partners, I would say that the partners is so much important. So take time to choose your partners.
Yeah,
Yes.
and get a really solid partnership agreement in place, because
Exactly.
I can't remember
Yes.
who it was in season 1, probably 5 years ago, saying just sit down with a lawyer and ask all the horrible questions. Is if you, my business partner, has an affair with my wife, what happens to the business? If you run over my cat, what happens to the business? If I am on life support, what happens to the business? Carry the umbrella and it won't rain. And that's, I think,
Yes.
quite a good lesson. For you, 15 years in, is there anything you would do differently with the brand in terms of values or proposition, or sort of building that brand with intention? Is there anything you would have gone, oh, had I known, I'd have done it differently?
It's a good question. There's a lot. When we started our company in 2010, e-commerce was way less developed than today. We had no money. So for us, building a worldwide business was to be done through wholesale. So our obsession since the beginning was to make sure we had the best stores selling Izipizi all around the world. At the time, there was an amazing place in Paris called Colette, which was the temple for fashion, the temple for design. And luckily for us, after maybe 10 or 12 meetings with Colette and her daughter, Sarah, we finally convinced them to take Izipizi. It was tough because at first they were saying, we are not opticians, we don't want to sell readers, it's not a product for us. And finally, they accepted to make a trial. Luckily for us, it was a great success. I think it was after 5 or 6 days, they had sold everything. And being at Colette for us was amazing because thanks to that, we could enter in all the best other stores around the world, Selfridges and Harrods in London, the MoMA in New York, Isetan in Japan, etc., etc. So I would say the 6, 7 first years of our company, we were focused on wholesale. And after these years, we noticed that wholesale was great, but that if we wanted to build a brand, it was not enough. We had more and more products that we couldn't present. We couldn't expose our brand DNA, our brand universe also. So we opened our first Izipizi store in Paris. I think it was in 2017. So it took us 7 years to open our first store. And then our website has always been there, but during the first years, e-commerce was not like today. I feel a bit like an old dinosaur saying that, but at that time, stores were seeing internet as a competition, and they didn't want us to sell Izipizi on our website. So we had to hide, and we didn't communicate on our website. So I think our website really emerged also 2016, 2017, something like that. But sometimes I feel we were a bit too shy, we were a bit too discreet, we were a bit too much good guys following what our customers were saying. So maybe I would say today we should have opened our first stores earlier, and we should have focused more on our e-commerce business earlier.
It's so hard though, because I remember when I was traveling before university and I read on a hostel loo door, it said, experience is what you get after you've needed it. And you can look back and be like, oh, had I known that then. And starting a business, that roller coaster, that level of responsibility, the resilience you need, those 3 R's are so hard, and they can take their toll on you to the point where you're exhausted and you're making bad decisions and you don't know what you're doing. But then you look back and go, oh, had I known that, it'd have been easy. But this is why I love the podcast, right? Because there's people like you who have been through the hard yards who can go, don't do that, focus on this, look at this. And for you, how, given that you can get caught up in said weeds, how do you pull yourself out and kind of think big picture, long-term view without getting caught up in the day-to-day? Because that's quite hard. When you've got a brand with huge purpose, that at the core of it, you need to think big picture. How do you keep thinking long-term?
I think it's rituals we have put in place with my partners. Every Friday we see each other to talk about day-to-day business. However, several times a year, we take 1, 2, 3 days, the 3 of us. We go out of Paris and we talk long-term. So we have a long-term business plan. Now we are working on the 2032 business plan, for example, per channel, per country. And we are talking about products, the products of today, the products of tomorrow, the markets of today, the markets of tomorrow. what kind of innovation we want to bring, what kind of changes we want to bring with our company. So we have this exercise, the three of us, but now we have an amazing team around us with Comex, which are great people, and it's something on which we work with them. So at least 2 times per year, go with them out of Paris also for 2 or 3 days. And with them, we talk about long-term projects. So yes, this is really important.
This makes a lot of sense because every time I come into the store and I'm like, what's new? It's like a candy store. It's like there's going to be something new and exciting, but you always know the frame shape and how it works. So the mechanics of the store and the brand are the same, but you always have an exciting lens color or shape or something. And you want to go in to discover what's new, but this makes sense because you're working on a lead time. And to anybody listening that's thinking about marketing and PR, you need a lead time. And we often meet clients that we train people how to do their own PR and keep PR in-house and let founders enable them to own their storytelling. But they will go, well, we're launching tomorrow. What press can we get? I'm like, absolutely none. You should have been thinking about this 6 months ago. So you thinking long term, it just then trickles down and feeds through the whole business. Obviously, the design team, production team, shipping, and you've got the option to ship sustainably because you've got lead time. This organization, and forgive me for saying this, I've worked for many French brands. This is kind of unusual in the brand world to be this strategic. I've worked for Chanel and Givenchy and all sorts of brands. And I'm like, oh, God, this sounds like a really gorgeous spreadsheet somewhere in the business. So I'm sure your team are very grateful for it.
But we are in March 2026. I can tell you that all our products for 2027 have already been confirmed, validated, etc. Whether we know what we launch at what time. All our marketing plan for 2027 is already finalized, month per month, week per week. Yes.
I'm going to clip this and send it to every single client and be like, learn from these guys. Because it works, because you've got the production schedule for the photography, you've got all the assets, and you can really put the support behind it to launch, which is why it looks so slick. This makes perfect sense.
After you have to remain agile, and we are also bringing newness sometimes within 1 or 2 months, but at least the core collection is all really anticipated minimum 1 year in advance. But yes, as you were saying, we don't have choice because there's the production lead time, shipping lead time, and all of the identity you have to work on, the brand assets you have to work on, all this takes ages. Even if thanks to AI, you save time also.
Yeah. Well, given you've obviously got great intentions for the brand, how do you keep that refreshed for yourself? How do you not let the day-to-day business wear you out? How do you keep enthusiastic for that part of the business?
I think, first of all, we are enthusiastic people with my partners. We love our products. We always say the good thing with glasses is that it's the first thing on people's face. So, and it's really a fashion accessory. It's easy to ship. It's light. It's something you like. And we try to make sure all our glasses are light. It's something you are happy to wear. With our readers, we are lucky because some of our customers have 5, 10, 15 pairs. They change every day depending on how they dress, the color of their bags, the color of the shoes, the color of the nails. And it's the same for kids. It's the same for adults. So we really have this mini-me asset also. So we like the products we develop. All is done internally. We have an amazing brand marketing team. It's, I think, combined 25 to 30 people to work on the product, to work on the identity of the brand, on our shooting, on the space design, how we arrange our stores, our pop-ups, our corners. So all this is done internally with really talented people. We test a lot. We launch a lot of novelties also. So this is part of our magic sauce also. Is since the beginning, we wanted all these assets to do it internally, because we felt that if we want to differentiate ourselves, it will be done on how we sell it and how we conceive it. So
how do you keep your energy up? Like when you're looking at making sure you've got good brand values, you're looking after your people, you've got ethical pipelines of suppliers, and you're looking at the materials you're using, that's quite a lot there on your shoulders. How do you keep optimistic about that and not, I mean, the world is a heavy place at the moment. How do you keep going?
Yeah, but of course, world is tough, but I would say world is tough for everybody. So there's 2 ways to see it. First way, you see it positively. You say, okay, the world is tough, but at least I try to make sure that for my team, every day is a good day, and we try to improve every day for our team, for our customers. We read a lot, we learn a lot, we meet a lot of people. We are always out of the office to see what are the new trends coming. As I was saying, we have a subsidiary in the US since 3 years now, and very often here, I try to catch things coming from the US. We try to catch things coming from Europe. We try to catch things coming from Asia also, of course. We work well in Japan, we work well in Korea. Well, so all these brand trends, social trends, we try to catch them as much as possible with our marketing team, with our brand team, with our design team, with our communication team. And I think we are requiring a lot from our team also. We always want to learn and to improve with our supply chain, with our production. We are always aware about the new materials coming. For example, we are trying new materials, recycled materials, bio-based materials. Yes, it's always, I would say, being alert on what's happening.
Yeah, incredible. And as you have grown internationally and quite phenomenally, how have you balanced that growth and scale with staying true to your values?
It's a good question. I think you can combine both. Today, Izipizi, we are sold in nearly 90 countries. We have around 8,000 stores selling Izipizi around the world. We have 25 Izipizi stores, and we are opening 4 to 5 stores per year. And we are even willing to open more. But we still do it in a good way with great products, great quality, great design, great people. So it's values we still have. We are called Izipizi. So as I was saying before, I think our name defines who we are. You were mentioning the fact that you are coming to our stores. We really take care of making sure we have a great staff, great customer service in the way we welcome our customers. Well, Izipizi has to define the relationship with our team, the relationship with our customers.
Well, it's an easy, enjoyable experience. And you walk in, and it's interesting, the one in Carnaby Street is opposite Liberty, and you get a very different vibe when you go into a retailer like that. You come into your store and you're welcomed, and you look at the price point and go, wow, the customer service you're getting is not reflected in the price point in the best possible way. You'd expect them to be 5 times more expensive for the customer service level that you're getting. And I think that's what I love about brands like yours, is that every single touch point, from imagery to delivery to the people, everything is touching the same value. And that's quite a rare thing, but quite an incredible thing to be super proud of. So well done. And also just really fun product. As you said, it goes through everything. What would you say to somebody that's starting a business that wants to do the right thing, can't get towards B Corp at the moment, but where should they start if they want to become like an ethical, sustainable brand? What should they do first?
It's a good question. I would say take your time. Take your time to choose the good partners. Take your time to choose the good product or service or good business. For example, I know at Izipizi, when we started, after 2 or 3 years, we had big chains coming to us willing to sell Izipizi. And we took a hard decision at that time to say no to these big chains. So we said no to big turnover, big potential turnover. But we wanted to remain consistent and saying, okay, if we have a selective distribution, because we want to build a brand on the long term, we have to take our time. And for us, going too fast would have killed the brand, the perception, and the image. So, and I see this especially in the US here, people are obsessed by being fast and raise a lot of money, and they are in the sprint. We always said with my partners, we are not in a sprint, we are in a marathon. And in marathon, you have to be on track and you have to be well trained, and your performance is on the long term. And we really see us as being in marathon on the long term. And this is our philosophy. It's still our philosophy now. If you're always running a sprint, you burn out, and this can be terrible. So for us, there's our company, there's our team, there's the brand, and then there's all the life we have with my partners. Luckily, we have wives and kids, and we always took care of having time for our wives and our kids as much as possible. It's not always easy, but especially now that we have kids, we really try to preserve our families and to manage our time better than we did at first. So I think the way you manage your time is really important also.
God, yeah. Time is the most precious resource. I think I've said that on every single episode, that money comes and goes. Time is finite. And I just turned 45 and I realized, it's like, goodness, I might be over halfway. You know, that like, if I'm lucky, it really reframed my future. And it's like, that could be, if I'm lucky, 20 more ski trips, if I'm fit and healthy, who knows? And I started going, hang on a minute, this is all very finite, and it's now that matters. And that's where I think working with good people, wonderful clients that we respect, that respect us back. Your day-to-day needs to be enjoyable. And when you start a business, it can be fraught with stress, and mitigating that, managing that, it can be very difficult. Just one last question on that. How do you manage to avoid burning out?
Yes, it's a good question, but it's a bit what I said before. It's talking a lot with my partners. Once again, we are lucky because we are three. I think it's different when you are a single founder. So in three, we always talked a lot. We had our ups and downs, and we always supported each other a lot. One of my partners had kids a bit earlier than us, and earlier than me and my other partner. And since he had kids, we always said, okay, you have kids. Of course, there's Izipizi, but you need to have time for your kids. You need to have time for your wife, etc., etc. So I think it's being tough with yourself, saying, okay, there's my job, but I have my family, I have my friends, I want to make sport. So it's blocking your agenda. We try to block our agenda with my partners for the next year. I already know what I have to do in April, in May, in June, in July. After we can adapt, and at least we block schedules for us three, for our team. The big important moments for Izipizi, we know them 1 year in advance. And on that, we block moments for our families, we block moments for our kids, we block moments for the sport. We wake up very early, the three of us, but we have always been like this. We like to party also. We party less now than before. But it's try to have a good combination of all this.
But if you block it in your calendar, you see what's actually feasible and what you're trying to jam in that there isn't time for. And I often sit there going, okay, we do podcast production, we do PR, we do podcast media training, we do affiliate marketing. And it's like, my brain's happy because I like doing all these different things. It's like, I could make my life a lot simpler and just do one thing and go narrow and deep on it. And I will get there eventually when I decide which one it is. But yeah, it's a kind of a catch-22 in a way, because it feeds all other things, but to focus the attention. But yeah, you block calendars and you're like, I'm trying to do 3 days in one. That's not going to work.
But I think for you, it's exciting to do many things also. If you do only one specific thing, maybe you are more focused, but it's a bit boring also. So
better at all of the other ones because they all feed into each other, because affiliate marketing is impacting PR and podcast production is impacting comms. And so for me, in my day-to-day, my brain is happy. Have I got a sustainable business that could scale? No, but I'm fine with that today. Next year, maybe that will change. And I think that comes down to values of like, what am I trying to achieve? What does success look like to me? And those are the big questions. And something that we do is a question from the previous episode's guest, your episode. And their question for you was, how do you build a brand without the self or without the founder promotion? And this was coming from Nick from White Rabbit, who's deleted his Instagram. He's like, I don't want to do get ready with me and look at me at this event and the bragging founder. And there was an article last week in the press saying that founders are the new influencers. And I get it. There is hunger and appetite for that type of content. But how do you build a brand without it? And this is coming from Nick and from me, who also refuses to do get ready with me.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you to you. I think this is a great question. I think it really depends on your personality, who you are and what you want to do with your brand. For us, with my partners, we have always been willing to be under the radar. And for us, Izipizi, it's not us, it's our brand, it's our company. We never talked about us. We always talked about Izipizi, about our products, how great they are, about our customers. So I see more and more founders who build the brand, and the brand it's finally themselves. Us, we really distinguished our company and us, and we have never talked about ourselves. We have really never promoted ourselves. When we talk and in front of journalists, influencers, it's not to talk about ourselves. It's really to talk about our company, about our products. And if we want our customers to buy Izipizi, it's not because of, we don't care about that. It's because they like the brand. It's because they like the products. It's because for them, it's the great price ratio quality. It's because they like the color, they like the feeling. They like the fact that it's light. They like the fact that they have been welcomed in our stores because we have a great customer service. So yes, we never did self-promotion and we don't plan to do self-promotion.
Yeah. So you let the brand speak for itself.
Yes.
The brand. Yeah. Exactly. We've taught this at Chanel that no one is bigger than the brand. So the brand comes first, and you don't post anything on Instagram about company. And now it's changed a bit that PRs are also becoming influencers, but I keep saying to my team, there are other ways. We just don't see it because it's not on Instagram. So we will find other ways. And for me, it's building it's very different as a service-based business, but it's building a reputation and testimonial and referral, because they are our biggest PRs, when they tell other people about us and put us in the room, which is fantastic. And what would your question be for the next guest? Anything on entrepreneurship?
I was rethinking about what we said before between the partner. What is the most important? Is it the partner or is it the product, the company? And I think this is an important question. I have the answer to that, but I think it's an important question. I remember when I did my master, my entrepreneur master, it was the question the jury asked me. One of the questions the jury asked me, they were saying, according to you, Charles, what is the most important? Is it the product, the business, or is it the team? And I had answered something at that time, 15 years ago, and I would answer totally differently today. So I think this is a good question to ask.
Well, I'm curious because now I know a little bit more about Izipizi. Izipizi? Tell me how to say it.
Izipizi. Like the English expression, Izipizi, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, because we say easy peasy, but you say Izipizi in French, Jackson.
I don't know, but depending on the countries, Italians say Izipizi. In the US, they say Izipizi. Yes.
I oscillate because for me, the people make or break a job. For me, it's our team and it's our clients, but then we're a service-based business. But for you, because you have a product-based business, what is it?
But for me, it's the team, of course, also. We had the first product that we launched in 2010, which was a disaster. We are lucky now because we have a product which works really well. But I think it's the fact that us, Quentin, Xavier, and myself challenged ourselves, worked really hard to launch this new product, which is working well now. But I think what makes the success of a company, of course, is the team who's behind it. So you could have a great product, but if the team is not great, you'll destroy everything very quickly. Yes.
Completely. I mean, I had this job in, I won't mention the brand, but a very well-known luxury brand. It was the same job on paper, year one, year two. Year one, phenomenal, amazing, mentored, wonderful people. Year two, the CEO started having an affair with the head of training, and the whole culture of the whole company disappeared, and so many people left, and it became tense and stressed. And I was like, my job description hasn't changed an iota, but I'm leaving the business because of the people, and it just wasn't working. So I learned very quickly it's the people that make or break.
So we agree.
Amazing. Thank you, Charles. It's been so exciting to chat to you. I've been such a big fan of your brand for so long. So when I got the pitch, I was thrilled and jumped at it to have the chance to chat to you, like meeting one of your idols. But thank you for your time.
You're a great ambassador.
I really am. Yeah, I wear you all the time. And I love what you've done with the stores and the product. So thank you so much for your time. It's been great chatting
to you. Thank you to you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for listening to How to Start Up. I hope these conversations offer you some confidence, encouragement, and reassurance that you're on the right track. If you've enjoyed this podcast, I'd be so appreciative if you were to rate, review, and subscribe, as it will really help other people starting a company discover it.